welcome our citizens and residents tonight to the December meeting of our Design Review Board. And we appreciate your participation in this process in which we try to assist residents in making improvements to properties in the historic districts and our overlay districts. And while our commissioners are reviewing the minutes, I'll just go through the procedures. Some of you have been here before, but now we just use the center lectern, and after we read your application, we'll ask you to come to that lectern in the center and give your name and address. And then if you have anything you want to add to the comments already made, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, we may ask you some questions. And we also want to welcome our planning director on board here, Ryan Bland, and he is serving as our secretary this evening. And we'll just go ahead and now turn the agenda over to, well, let's see, we need to go ahead and have you all make a motion on the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion. We approve the minutes of the work session and our regular meeting of October 4, 2016. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for November. Raise your right hand if you approve. It was October, I'm sorry. We didn't meet in November. Okay, Mr. Secretary, if you would introduce us to the first motion, first application.
First application is CERH 17-011. Subject property is 206 Trafalgar Street Southwest. The applicant is proposing to construct 2 accessory structures on the property and replace 2 existing wooden gates. The first accessory structure is to the north of the property. This is at the corner of Hain and Trafalgar, so this would be the Hain side. It's about a 10 by 10 cedar gazebo, open-sided, with a copper-colored metal roof. And then on the south side of the property, in a courtyard with the applicant's pool, proposing a patio cover of similar materials, roughly 15 by 20 feet, maxing out at about 14 feet. So both structures' roofs would likely be seen just above the height of the fence, or the wall, the brick wall that goes around the property. Aside from that, the applicant is proposing to replace 2 wooden gates on the property. One is on the far northeast corner on the Hain frontage, and the other one is within their courtyard along the Trafalgar frontage. Would be replacing both of those with a wrought iron gate to match the wrought iron fence along the Trafalgar side of the property.
All right. And if you would come forward and give your name.
My name's Annette Summer. I live at 206 Trafalgar Street.
Anything you would like to add?
Yeah, on the gazebo deal, I didn't realize until it was brought to my attention that when you live on the corner, you have 2 front yards. And I did not know that, because I do not really have a backyard.
Right.
I don't know if you have a picture of that or not. It's pretty much a walkway between the back of the house and the brick wall. And I did not know, because everything I've ever done at my property, I've always gotten permission through y'all to do it. And I had no idea that it was, considered a front yard.
Yeah. Now, did you have to get a variance on the location of it? Not, beyond our.
It was able to be granted administratively.
Okay. Yeah, and I think mainly anything that's constructed that's visible from the street, and it's really just the roof, as Ryan was pointing out. Most of the hardscape wouldn't even need to come to us, but thank you for submitting it, and in coming to the work session, that was helpful as well. I think we probably have answered all the questions. We see where the wood gates are, and an example of the steel gate that you're replacing. Are there any other questions you all have? Yes, you said redwood. The new patio structure will be similar to the gazebo.
Yes, sir, it'll be all cedar.
Cedar, okay. Okay, thank you. We'll see if anyone else would like to speak.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you'll come forward and also give your name, please.
I am Linda Coffin at 905 Hayne Avenue, and as a neighbor, I don't object to her having this gazebo in the area.
Okay, well, thank you. Good,
Anything else?
good, thank you. If you do plan on speaking and you haven't signed our register in the little vestibule, that would be helpful, just so we get your name spelled right in the minutes. That's the main purpose of that role out there. Okay, if there would anyone else like to speak in favor or against, you're welcome to come forward. I don't see anyone, so we could entertain a motion from someone, and we can discuss it further.
With respect to application CERH 17-011, I move that we accept it, and it's also in the Historic Overlay District.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All right. All in favor of the application as submitted, raise your right hand. Okay, it is approved.
Your next item is 2A2. This is application CERH 17-010. Subject property is 918 Grace Avenue Southwest. There are kind of three primary elements to this application. The first is to rehabilitate an existing residential structure on the property. Structure was built somewhere in 1920, 1930. It's a single-story kind of craftsman structure with red siding, white accents, and asphalt shingle roof. The applicant is proposing to paint the structure to reinstate an existing porch that existed previously on the south side of the property. They wish to paint the structure to match existing properties on the Orangeburg side, also owned by the owner of this property, and install a gray metal roof to match that as well. Additionally, there are a number of fences that are proposed to be reoriented on the property. Primarily, there's currently on the western property line, a privacy fence, a wood privacy fence, that would be converted into a four-rail horse fence, and then a four-rail horse fence would then also then bisect the property kind of northwest to southeast. Additionally, they would reinstall a privacy fence where kind of the existing northerly horse fence and the horse fence on the east side of the property currently exist, and replace an existing split rail fence on kind of the south portion of the Grace frontage with a horse fence as well, four rail. Additionally, there is a small shed located in the northwest corner of the subject property that's proposing to be demolished, currently in substandard condition.
Okay. All right, and we have the applicant here tonight, or a representative of the applicant, maybe.
Hello, my name is Chris Colfar, and I'm here representing Sarah Wilderson in this matter at 918 Grace Avenue Southwest.
Good, thank you, and thank you for attending the work session. That was helpful. Do you have any further questions? I was going to ask about the 6-foot, it's a wood.
Wood privacy fence, yes, sir. 4x4 pressure-treated posts set in concrete, 3 2x4 runners, and then a 72-inch dog-eared picket, single-sided.
And it's stained, I mean, is it painted, stained?
Natural pressure-treated color.
Okay, okay, it'll just weather gray then?
Weather gray, yes.
Okay,
It'll be water sealed after it cures, but
Yeah.
it'll be just a clear sealer.
yeah, okay. Okay,
How about the horse fence? Is that going to be natural as well?
That was black to match
Black.
the adjacent property.
Okay, and then I see you have colors on the back.
I noticed in the write-up, you talk about you'd have to do a new beam over the front porch, columns.
Yes, sir. We'll erect the beam probably out of LVLs, and then we'll cover it in hardy to give the look of wood. To
So
match
will it have the same profile as the existing porch?
The front porch, yes, sir.
The beam on the front
Yes,
porch?
sir.
Okay.
We're gonna make it look identical, same columns, everything.
Okay.
Identical.
I guess you may be adding a metal rail like the other, like the existing rail on the other,
With the height that we have, a metal rail or any railing's not
not required.
required, so possibly not.
Maybe you can take that one off maybe.
Yes, sir. That's in the plans to come on.
Okay. Okay. Oh, any other questions? Good, thank you. And we'll ask if anyone else would like to speak regarding this particular renovation. And not seeing anyone, I think we could have a motion on this.
Application CERH 17-010. I move that we approve as submitted.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? It is contributing. I think we determined it was contributing, but a lot of what they're doing is undoing infill walls that obviously enclosed an existing porch. So in that respect, it's trying to restore what was there previously, and I think it'll be an improvement. I think the color will improve. I don't think we have to, I don't believe we have to vote on colors when it's already painted.
So I think
It's part of the application.
Yeah, okay.
the only comment I've got is that I wish we were doing the whole front porch replacement, you know. And so I'd like to encourage you to do that as soon as possible.
Where the room is,
Yeah, on the front corner there, this is going to continue to be a room.
yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it looked. For some reason, that room was added at a different time from the infill on the porch, probably, since it's got the old side, the original siding.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Now, have we had a motion on this yet? We did a motion, we've had discussion. All in favor of the submittal, raise your right hand. Okay. Motion approved.
Next item is 2A3, application CERH 17-012. Subject property is at 117 Carlton Avenue Southwest. The applicant is requesting to construct a new residential structure at 117 Carlton. The property is generally located on the south side of Carlton between Newberry and Chesterfield Streets. The Design Review Board previously approved a certificate for the demolition of a previous residence on the subject property, at which time a conceptual drawing was presented for this structure. The applicant has somewhat scaled down the massing along Carlton of the structure that was presented at the previous certificate approval process on this property. And the structure would be a one-story structure that would include a daylight basement in the rear.
Okay, thank you. And we have the applicant here tonight.
Jeff Burden, 164 Market Street, Charleston, South Carolina.
Jeff, would you care to just give us an update on maybe the changes that you all felt were appropriate since we last saw your preliminary?
I think that the, really the only significant change is going from the two-story structure down to the one-story structure. There's a number of two-story structures, residential structures in the area, but I think their thinking was not to really overbuild. And it ironically is very similar to what was there in terms of the massing and the language and so forth. White clapboard siding, vernacular cottage look, table in the exposed areas, and sort of circa 1895 to 1910 cottage Aiken language.
Okay.
Jeff, in your new conceptual design plan, I noticed that you've got sort of two gables coming off of either end of the house.
Correct.
And it looks like in conceptual design that they're about the same size and they come out about the same amount. But when I look at the footprint you've drawn, it looks like actually the right side doesn't come out as much as the left side.
The actual elevations and the plans are sort of much more accurate and so forth. So I think that's just a trick of perspective in the perspective view. But you are correct.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Unless there are other questions, we can move on and see if we have others who'd like to speak with regard to this application on at 117 Colleton across from the Wilcox. That's the elevation right there. Okay. All right, would you all like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the design as the application as submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this final application on Colleton Avenue. If you approve, raise your right hand. Okay. Voted in favor. All right.
Item this evening is 2B. This is in the Old Aiken Overlay District, application CERD 17-001010. Subject property is 912 Carlton Avenue Southeast. Applicant is requesting to construct a new residential structure at 912 Carlton Southeast. The property is generally located on the north side of Carlton between Williamsburg Street and Marlborough Street. The frontage along there consists of 4 lots. One currently developed, so this would be the second of the 4 lots to be developed. The existing one would be next door to the west at 906 Carlton. They're proposing a single-story cottage-style residence on the property.
All right, thank you. And we have the representative of the applicant here.
Yes, my name is Robert Stencavage. I'm the property owner.
Okay. Good. Anything, we had a good, I think, review of the plans in the work session, but if you have anything that occurs to you or that you all want to ask, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, Mr. Stencavage, we talked in the work session briefly about this, and the thing that's most striking about the front photo that you have there of the house, I don't know what page number that is, but is the little windows above the porch, and I'd like for you to tell me why you included those.
It was more of the vernacular, the low country style, Greek revival overtones, and to eliminate those would I think leave an integral part of the whole aesthetic out. So I guess from a practical standpoint, they also helped with attic illumination.
Right. Yeah. So, and if you did eliminate them, I guess that wall would be kind of bare in there. And,
Correct.
you know, and I do think when you look at the profile view of that section of the house with the height that you have, looks very appropriate, you know.
Part of what we were trying to achieve here is to have it in keeping with the houses that have already been built on the 6-lot subdivision. We wanted to remain one story, but not have it be such an abrupt change from the previous house to the west.
Yeah, that was a good way to do it. And the columns on the front, I think, accentuate the vertical aspect of it. Now, it looks like that y'all have gone to some lengths to get the little windows the same width as the double-hung windows down below or the single windows down below. Are we reading that right? That if
Yeah, they're nominally 3-foot wide
3
windows.
feet. So those up there would be 3 feet
Correct.
wide.
Yeah.
And they're what, about a foot high, maybe?
Approximately a foot tall, correct.
Yeah.
And they will be fixed windows.
Yeah, yeah. I think what is,
No, I'm okay with it. I just wanted
Yeah,
to have that on the
clarify.
record
yeah.
about that.
The way the trim is drawn on that elevation, it's a little confusing so the windows don't.
No, I understand why it's there. I don't have a problem with it.
How will you access that area?
There'll probably be by code a hatchway somewhere in the lower living space, I imagine, in one of the bedrooms. But part of our goal was not to have a second floor, stairwell, or a pull-down staircase. We wanted to simplify it for the efficiency of construction as well as the efficiency of heating and cooling.
And
In the back 2 bedrooms, we discussed earlier about you having a window that didn't come down as far, and you described that as an awning-type opening window where it would swing out.
Correct. It's also referred to as a mulled unit. You have 2 square windows that are mulled together with grills, and they open by hinging on the top, cranking out on the bottom. It's like a casement window turned 90 degree, or 40.
Horizontal.
Yeah, turn to quarter turn.
Right.
Right.
And I just wanted to make sure that, because, you know, when I first glanced at your elevations, it looked like there was a glass block window in there.
No.
And so I just wanted to clarify that was not what you had intended to put that.
People refer to that as a cottage style or craftsman style detail, but it's more for the practical concern of being able to have a headboard wall in the bedroom.
Right. I understand. One more question, I'll be finished, okay? Please forgive me. And the last one was about the insulated, single-hung, 2/2 window. I thought I saw somewhere where that was a vinyl windows?
That's correct. Our vinyl composite windows.
So is that a clad window or a solid vinyl?
It's a solid vinyl.
Oh.
Correct. And I guess I'd like to note that it's a 2-over-1 grill style,
Okay,
so the lower half will have no grill, the upper half will have a divided light,
I understand.
simulated divided light.
I wasn't aware that you could get a simulated divided light with something in between the glass and something on the outside of the glass and a solid vinyl window, so,
Yeah, there's a handful of manufacturers. We most recently used Geldwen, which is a common window readily available, and they have a really nice, it's actually a very architecturally accurate inch and an eighth wide grill that applies to the outside of the glass and the inside of the glass.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? I guess you will have some sort of, unless this is a spray foam attic, you'll have some gable venting or?
Correct. We'll have a soffit and ridge venting.
Okay, but no gable vent.
We weren't planning on it only because of the chimney structure on the front section, and it's more efficient to have the ridge and soffit venting. So we'll just be utilizing best practices where that's concerned.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Thank you. Okay, and we'll ask if anyone else would like to speak with regard to this application. Now is your chance. And doesn't look like we've got anyone, so if someone would be kind enough to make a motion, we will discuss and vote.
I'd like to recommend that we approve this application as submitted.
Second.
Okay, and that was a second?
Second.
Good. Okay, any further discussion? All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Approved. Okay, thank you. I think that's the last of our business tonight, and we appreciate you all coming, and the meeting is now adjourned.